Well, Mark Meirowitz is joining me now live from New York. He is the Professor of Constitutional Law at the State University of New York. Thank you very much for joining us on the NewsHour. So first of all, what is your assessment of how that debate played out? Never mind what happened today.
Well, look, it's crazy. That debate was crazy. Can you imagine they were debating their golf swing? Biden said that Trump had the morals of an alley cat, and Trump said that China has placed Biden in his position. Trump asked that Biden should take a cognitive test, and then they debated who was the worst president in the history of the United States. Now, to the point that you're showing the rally in North Carolina, my question is, and the Democrats are absolutely in a panic, who is the real Joe Biden? Is it the Joe Biden that we saw at the debate, which was shocking in terms of his ability and his complete falling away in terms of his ability to express, and the Biden we saw in the rally today, who is full of energy? This is very, very worrisome. The Democrats are in free fall over this. They're even talking about replacing Biden with Gavin Newsom, Michelle Obama, Kamala Harris. Now, interestingly enough, the setup at the debate, I think, was very important because they were standing at podiums. There was no crowd, no audience. So I think when you see Biden at the audience where he has a rally, he does much better. There, it was Biden and Trump. Biden even, ended up mumbling things. So I think that there's a tremendous, tremendous issue here. Also, they had a very early debate. They had it in June. In fact, the Democrats wanted it early in June. They wanted it with podiums, with no audience, with a microphone being muted. I think that was very, very bad for Biden. To your point, they've covered all the big issues in the debate. There was actually substance involved when they weren't kind of throwing invectives against each other. But the bottom line in the whole thing is, number one, January 6th, what happened with Trump. And on the side of Biden and Biden's age, his ability, his capacity, and his attributes are really, really significant here. And obviously, he did very poorly. Now, I think it's not a great comeback to say, hey, I might not speak well and I might not work so well and all that, but I always tell the truth. But the question really is, can President Biden undertake the job of being president through the end of his term? And then can he have another term of 4 years? Now, this is reminiscent of what happened with President Johnson when he bowed out in 1968. It turns out that may have been related to his health, but actually related also to the war in Vietnam. So I think the American people, ended up very, very shocked that the sitting president of the United States was having such a hard time explaining things, and his leadership is in question. And to me, candidate or no candidate, this is our president, and he had a very hard time. So I think I'm worried about the president, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. But if you care about America and the future of the country and where we're going, this is very worrisome. As far as Trump is concerned, Trump is Trump, and you're showing his rally. What is he going to do? He's going to repeat the same main points he made at the debate. He makes the same points over and over and over again. So again, the American people have a very, as you said before, very, very problematic choice. And I don't know how to resolve it.
Mark,
I think
you mentioned there, no matter what Joe Biden may well say now, the idea is out there that do they need a change of candidates? But by the same token, could this backfire on Trump if it even got that far and he had to face a fresh opponent? I mean, that could be a real challenge for Trump.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Now, first of all, a lot of people were saying all along, well, Biden should replace Kamala Harris because she's very, very weak. Her numbers are very weak. She now sort of is energized. I interviewed her on all the networks, and she was speaking out very, very well, surprisingly, but her numbers are very, very low. And in fact, it's interesting, there's an online betting service, and I read some number about Harris coming up. Now her numbers have gone up. The betting, people who are betting online are all for Harris for president. And that's a crazy point. But the thing is, we're in a desperate situation here. Either Harris should be replaced if Biden's going to run. So there's a good, strong vice president, or we need to replace Biden. I totally agree with you. The backfire is there. If Biden has done so badly and they replace him with a very strong candidate, that will be very, very problematic for Trump. I agree. Right now, Trump is up against the Biden of Thursday night. The Biden of Thursday night was a shadow of a president. It was such a very weak performance. And there was so many points that Trump made that Biden could have easily rebutted, could have easily countered, and he didn't do it. He had all kinds of opportunities to do it, and he didn't do it. He didn't have the capacity to bring up the points. They fought about, as you said, immigration. They fought about the economy. Those are fair points. They fought about abortion. They fought about those points. But then they degenerated into, hey, I'm the best president in the history of the country. And then Biden says, oh, that's ridiculous. You're the worst president. And it just degenerated. And then, of course, interestingly enough, they started accusing each other. You're a convicted felon and your son is Hunter Biden. And that started getting like crazy. So in a way, it was crazy and with substance. And then Biden basically falling.
Listen, Mark, we've got to move on, but I think we all agree that if this is the opening salvo, then it's going to be a very long campaign indeed. Mark Meirowitz, thank you very much for joining us and for your insight live from New York for now.